Welcome to Life and Style-ish. I'm India. Thanks for coming by. So today's episode, I made a credenza out of a couple of nightstands that I purchased from Goodwill probably about a month ago. If you check out my Goodwill haul video from a few weeks ago, you'll see these two nightstands that I purchased, and I had the idea to make a credenza. My mom, I think I mentioned in that video, she needed a credenza for her office area, and she was looking for one. She couldn't find one. She finally did, but it ended up, since she didn't measure it, it didn't work. When she got it, it ended up being very, very small. So it wasn't something that she could really use for her office. So I said, well, why don't I try and make something for you? Went to Goodwill, found some furniture, and I was like, oh, I can upcycle this. So I ended up going to the hardware store, getting a few more supplies. And so yeah, I'm excited to show you guys what I've been working on. Like I said, this was probably about a month ago, and I've had so much going on as far as with YouTube and everything that I just haven't had a chance to get to this and show you guys. Plus what I thought was going to end up being a couple of days ended up being a couple of weeks, and I have about 2 weeks worth of footage to show you as well. 2 weeks worth of footage that I filmed. I'm not going to show all that to you because it will probably take about 2 weeks. So because of that, I wanted to edit it down, get everything together, and go ahead and show it to you. This is going to actually be part 1. I will show you part 2 next week. Like I said, it ended up being a longer video than I realized, and a longer project as well. But totally worth it in the end. I was happy with it. She was happy with it. And at the end of the day, that's really all you can ask for, is that the person that you're making something for is happy with the work that you did. So I'm proud of it. I think she was happy with it. So like I said, at the end of the day, that's really the most important thing. So anyway, stay tuned and check out my video. So here what I'm doing is just removing the drawers out of the nightstands here now. And they're pretty easy. They're just wooden boxes. It's pretty old, although this wood is very, very hard. It's pretty easy to kind of, just kind of maneuver them, shift them a little bit to get them out. And then I turned it upside down in order to get to the screws. So that's what I'm doing there, just taking all the screws out, and I'm at the last screw right there. And I didn't want the top, because it's very heavy, I didn't want it to just flop down on the wood floor and it would be really, really loud. So I had my son hold it, and I just have him bringing over the second nightstand now. And so yeah, I just took the drawer out of that, took the screws out, and now, I took the screws out of the last one, so now I'm getting ready to take the screws out of the next one. And so just getting him to hold the top so it doesn't fall over. And then the next step was to take that middle piece of wood out of the it was like what allowed the drawer to slide in and out. I'm not sure what that's called, but that's what I'm removing now. Just taking those two pieces of wood out. So because what I'm gonna end up having to do is what I didn't realize when I was doing this, but later on I'm gonna have to use those two pieces, that one and the one I'm about to remove there. I ended up having to cut that down and use that as a support piece when I was putting it back together. And I will show you a little bit of that later on. But for now, next what I'm doing is, so this is the piece that I have here. Those are that's one of the top pieces, one of the main support pieces. So the two pieces that I took off, I'm using that large piece to replace it, and I'm attaching the bottom nightstand pieces to that. And then the other piece of wood on the far left, next to the fuse box, that piece is going on top of that once I put some support pieces on top. I know it's kind of confusing. I hope it makes sense, but you'll see towards the end of the video exactly what I'm talking about and how I actually started to put this together. So right now what I'm doing is using the level just to make sure that I'm making a straight line all the way across, and just measuring out all the pieces. I wanted to get everything measured out that I wanted to cut down before I actually cut everything, so I can cut everything all at one time. So that's really just what I'm doing here. Yeah, just cutting, just measuring out the exact length that I wanted to make everything so that it would fit together really, really well. So that's all I'm doing here, and just using the level to make sure that I am completely straight, that the cut is straight and level, as straight as possible. Unfortunately, I don't have a circular, not a circular saw, I apologize. I don't have a table saw, which would allow me to make very straight cuts. I just have the circular saw. So just, doing the best I can with what I got. So here, same thing, trying to draw out exactly, get all the support pieces measured out, exactly where I want to put all, do all the cutting and measuring everything out. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing here. So next what I'm doing is, now that I've done all the measurements, drawn everything out exactly where I want to make my cuts, I went ahead and just started going ahead and cutting everything, cutting all the pieces of wood down to exactly what I need. I ended up with altogether 4 support pieces, and then the 2 flat tops, and then another large piece on the top of, at the very, very top of the credenza. You can see right here, I'm just cutting down one of the support pieces here, and unfortunately I didn't make a very straight cut, so I'm having to go back and try and fix it, and I did the best I could, but you can still see after I make this pass towards the top, further back on the piece of wood, you can see where there's like a little bit of a hump there. So I ended up having to go back in with the handsaw to take care of that. Now that the shorter support pieces are cut down, Now I can start cutting down the larger support pieces. So this particular one is a piece that's going across the back at the very top. And it's just going to be an upright piece all the way across. So I'm just cutting that down now. And right here, this is the piece that's going to go on top of the two nightstand pieces to replace the tops that I took off. Just cutting that down now so it won't be too long. If I make it any longer, I would probably have to put something in the middle of that, and I just want to have the two nightstands on either side to give it the support that it needs. So this is the second piece that is going on top of the shorter support pieces, and hopefully that makes sense, but you'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. Alright guys, so here we are right now. Nothing has been attached yet, but this is what we have so far. So it's going to be, I've gotten a request from the client to put doors on, so I'll be putting a door there and there. This will be left open, but I'm going to do a little bit of a curve to make room for the trash can that's going to go below, just to make it easier to throw trash away. And then that's going to get a little bottom at this part here, and there's going to be a little bottom here. Those are the pieces for that, but I have to cut that out because my jigsaw is not working. But this is where we are so far. And I just gotta get the screws and everything and screw them in, and I'll be doing that tomorrow because, as you can see, it is nighttime outside. It's very, very late. Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in to my channel and checking out this episode. I was not able to finish showing the entire work that I did because it's a really long, it took about 2 weeks to actually get this done. And somewhere it was like over 100 video clips that I actually recorded trying to put it as I was putting it together. So it's actually a lot of footage that I have to go through, a lot to edit, to put to actually make a coherent video. So hopefully you enjoyed this. I apologize that it didn't go all the way to the conclusion, but I definitely want to do the conclusion next week, just so you get a chance to really see everything that I worked on. And I feel like I worked so hard. It was over 80, 90 degree days, sometimes 100 with the heat index. So it was pretty hot. I was working on this last month in August when we were going through our hottest, that's usually our hottest month. And but yeah, it was a project that I thought was only going to take a couple of days, and it ended up taking a couple of weeks. So it is what it is. That's kind of the nature of doing DIY projects, especially larger scale things like that. You never know how long it's going to take, but I tried to got it done as well as I could. But anyway, like I said, because there was so much footage, I was not able to include everything in there in this first video. So I'm gonna do a part 2 for next week, so definitely tune in for that. All right, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys coming by, checking out this video, and if you're not subscribed, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Give it a like, leave a comment. I love to hear from you guys. Also, you can follow me over Life and Style-ish, Twitter, Facebook, as well as Instagram. So you guys have a great weekend, or whenever you watch this, have a great day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.